All right, Predator fans, this guy just showed up today. It is Neca's 100th Predator that they created, and it actually is packed with a bunch of extra goodies. Let's start with the box. Don't mind the mess. I'm actually working on a project, but the box here is absolutely beautiful. You got a special edition sticker, 100th Predator, and if you did not know, it comes with a hunting grounds skin. Now that is a friggin' awesome idea. That's something that I mentioned years ago that some collectibles should start doing. So it's cool seeing them incorporate that. So you have this artwork on the box that you can actually display with the poster they give you. This is the first time I'm aware of they actually give you a fold-out poster of the artwork on the box, really making this a special edition. Not only do you get the poster, but it's double-sided, so you have the full lineup of 100 Predator figures on the back. This is what they show off every year around, what, Christmas or so? So it's really cool having this in high-def resolution where you can kind of keep track and see if you have a complete collection. So you get the fold-out poster with the amazing artwork. You get the guide, and then here's the Predator Hunting Grounds code. I believe it's on the back. I was just looking to see if I was like, oh damn, I'm giving the code away. So it's on the back of this slip, so you can go ahead and do that. And then there's this piece of paper, kind of making it just a little extra special, and you can read the story of the Alpha Predator right here. And he's got a pretty cool story. Now, the figure itself is absolutely amazing, except for one small little gripe, and that is he looks so incredible with the prototype. When you get it in hand, there's a couple areas that are a bit off, like the face paint. Now, here in the prototype, obviously it's hand painted, so these look really nice, but mine has these really ugly. I would prefer if they didn't even paint it, because it has these really ugly slaps of paint here and here. That's the one thing that jumps out at me and makes it look kind of ugly. But at a distance, he's freaking awesome looking. Now his hair, the neat thing they did with the design of his hair is he's got this monster looking mandible face. His mandibles have these extra fangs all over. Look at that. We got 1, 2, 3, one up top. Jeez. So his hair comes back in this really crazy design where it's kind of like the Ahab had a ponytail and the Elder Predator had a ponytail. This has like a double ponytail where it has this up top, and down here his pred dreads go into this back plate thing. Nicely colored, and it has the same type of coloring as the eye on the Predator, and obviously this armor is a callback to the original Jean-Claude Van Damme Predator design. Obviously you know what that is, but if you don't, look it up. It's an interesting story. And they said it's a completely new sculpt, and you can tell especially something about the knees, the way the knee hinges are, and then something about the elbows. I can't tell if it's just how it's painted that's throwing it off, but it does look a little new and updated compared to some of the other Predators that we have. So you can see the coloring on the armor here, and this is all soft, pliable material. Even here, all soft and pliable. You don't have to worry about them snapping off. This as well. Nice coloring. You've got these horns growing out of his back, or not growing, but in the armor. A really cool skirt, looks like fur, supposed to be with fang bones, some creature that he has defeated, and the armor continues that fang bone-like all the way down. The other flaw with mine, I have a busted foot here. Maybe I can show you if you can see. Which one is it? Yeah, right here. This leg here has this gap. Whatever they did, it's not sitting in there right. And I tried pushing it in and tried heating it up, and it just won't go in. And it actually creates this unevenness. See the feet? One of them is just so much longer than the other. We'll look at his mask because that's one of the most exciting accessories. And again, that's because it's a throwback to the original design. So here's inside the mask. And I'll be real with you, mine does not go on at all, really. I had to really press it on there. So I'm going to try to heat it up, fit it to his face, hoping that will allow it to click on and off properly. I don't like silence, but I want to show you a good idea of what it looks like. Fucking awesome design, though. Now, with the armor on his hands, he comes with these attachable claws. And this piece here actually slides up and down on this little slider here. It'll slide up and slide down. This is two different pieces. You get this part here that will come off. You get two of these. One there and one here. This is interesting because you can have this skull claw and it connects to the back here. But if you actually take his wrist off, you can switch this around and make the claw in the front. So here, I took it off. You just take his wrist off, or his hand off. You swing this around and you put it back on and you put the wrist on. I had a little trouble getting his wrist back on. I don't even think it's on all the way, but maybe I'm just setting it wrong. But that looks freaking awesome. So now the claw that was in front is a claw like an elbow strike. And then he's got this giant spike-like weapon. So you can have one on that hand, and then if you do this one proper, you can have this on this hand, giving him those two spikes. Now this additionally has this part that is on a slider that can also pop off. And it pops off right by these two. I just noticed that. This has another little claw. But yeah, these two pop on right there. And that's what holds this on. So you have a lot of display options. I would imagine this is also a individual, like a wrist gauntlet. That's actually friggin' awesome. It's the first time I realized that. I just took him out of the box. I got something to do, so I thought I would show him off. And then he's got a pliable belt here that obviously will hold one of his other weapons. And let's take a look at those. All right, so this is cool. They came with these two I already showed you. But he also comes with 3 pairs of hands. The 2 that are on him, it looks like displayed hands outwardly, like yelling. And then we have something here that would hold some type of weapon, whether it's the sickle or the staff. And then we have, it looks like fists. So you got 2 pairs of fists. It's good paint work on the nails. And the skin paint, I don't know how well it's being picked up on the camera. It has this shine to it. Now, it's kind of like a translucent yet not slimy shine. It's really good. So this looks like a staff holding hand. So yeah, you got a left hand and a right hand that would hold a weapon. And this looks like it's extended to maybe hold it at a more of an angle. And then the fist hands and the open hands. So that's cool. You have a throw-in star here made of bone. Nice. And then this sickle looks pretty damn cool. Come on now. There we go. And then right down to the handle. A simple paint job, but it does look cool. And last, probably my favorite accessory here, the staff. It has what looks like a giant crab claw on the end of it. And I would imagine it's probably a jawbone, it looks like. Now this is supposed to be open a little bit, so obviously you'd have to heat that up and reposition it. But it's got good coloring on it. It's got this spine going down the staff that I love. It's just a spine just wrapped around the staff here. And then the end is another similar claw or tooth. I would imagine that's a claw of something that he killed. Anyhow, so that's the friggin' Alpha Predator. And he's amazing. They showed this off a while back, and I got really excited. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be easier to get. I know he's sold out, so if you're worried about it, I wouldn't really worry, because I noticed on Neca it says they only sold 45 of these before they sold out, or something like that, which means they're holding back. They're going to restock it in stores, maybe use that it's sold out as advertising. And he's going to be in Targets. He's going to be sold back on their website. There's no reason for them not to sell as many of these as possible. There's just no reason. I can even see them doing something else with him. Now, he's a new sculpt, so obviously they're going to utilize that for some future figures. I wouldn't be surprised if they used the new sculpt for... What size is he? If they used the new sculpt for something like... How big is he compared to... Here's the Jungle Hunter, without knocking anything down. Yeah, so he's got some size on him. What about Scarface? He's definitely got a little bit of size on Scarface. Wait, would they use this for the Predators from Predators? I'm not really sure now. Maybe they would, because we know that's coming up. Or would they just redo what they already have? I'm not sure. You guys put some thoughts and opinions down below. He's a monster compared to Dutch. This guy is a beast. And he looks friggin' epic. I do want to glance at some of the knee joints, because there is something here that just comes off as different. Yeah, you know what? The articulation feels solid. I don't know if the other Predators folded up that much. I know they were double jointed as well, but something about this guy, his movement is just a little more extra, a little more flexible. He can obviously do all the, familiar articulation that you know from Neca, but there's something about him that just moves a hair more. And his head does move up and down a touch, but with all those dreads, it's tricky. And he moves side to side, so he has your standard articulation you're used to. Something about this arm, though, man, it really articulates. All right, it'll be easier to show you on this guy, but all my Predators seem to have, or at least newer ones, this design where it's a pin up top and a pin at the bottom. See the pin there and then the pin there? However, this new Predator, the Alpha Predator, does not have a pin up top. It's a pin in the bottom, and then it bolts into the top. It's like a peg joint. It pegs in instead of having that pin. So that's a hinge essentially here. And this is a hinge at the bottom and a peg at the top. So it pegs in, and obviously that's what appears to give it that extra fold. And the sculpt goes at an angle which allows it to fold in a little more. So this new Predator does look like, if they stick with that new design, and again, I checked on as many Predators as I can find, this is the only one I see where they did that. I wonder if they did it for... No, you know what? They did that for whatchamacallit, the Fugitive. Real quick, I just want to show you that belt does hold his weapon. Alright, so maybe they started doing that for the Fugitive, where, see, it pins in the bottom and then it pegs up top instead of being a double pin. So maybe that's not something that's new with the Alpha, but it is new-ish. And does allow, or seems like it does allow, for a little more articulation. Oh, come on. I need more space. Which I might move them down there. I'm in the middle of reorganizing. Anyhow, here is Alpha next to one of the newer releases, the laser shot. He towers over him. If I have it right, Scar uses the AVP body, and he just inches above him. I wonder what Scar's pegs are like. Yeah, you know what? I may just be stupid because I think he has a peg and then it plugs into the top. Yeah, that might just be me overthinking it, but the sculpt is new. I guess maybe the articulation design just isn't new, just different based on this type of figure they're going for. In hand, regardless, he feels like the most flexible Predator outside of the Fugitive. Seemed pretty damn flexible, but when you get him in hand, you see how he feels. Anyhow, how he looks is the most important in my opinion, because I love the Predator design, and he looks friggin' awesome. I'm not thrilled about the helmet. I think for a display piece, I wish they came with an alternate head with the helmet on it. I hate helmets that go on the figures. It bulks out and looks ridiculous, especially at certain angles. On top of that, they never stay on. Like this can't. I tried every which way. It just doesn't plug on. It just kind of rests there. Anyhow, that's the Alpha Predator. I highly recommend grabbing one the moment they're in restock. I actually was lucky enough to pre-order this really early on Big Bad Toy Store, so I got another one coming whenever they fulfill their stock. But I think Entertainment Earth still has a pre-order open, so check there. If not, do not overpay. Just wait, they will restock. There's no way they won't. I'll be shocked if they don't. All right, thoughts and opinions down below. I'm done.